Just the other day we were talking about Black Ops 4 and the secret versions of gold and diamond camo, to which at that point that was the only thing that we knew of, and we detailed how to get all of those. You can check that video out here up on the channel if you guys are interested. There's a couple variations for each of them, but at the time that was the furthest along in camo progression that we had seen at the moment. But shortly thereafter that video went up, my buddy Sean E-Dogs ended up actually getting the world's first dark matter camo within a time that would honestly surprise you. 3 days into the lifespan of Black Ops 4, and we already had dark matter unlocked and showcased for the entirety of the world. Now, he's the first one to end up getting this. I'm not entirely sure if there's somebody else out there that has gotten this as well, but the grind was certainly real. So what you're seeing in this video is all 1000% courtesy of Sean. Go check him out. His links will be in the description below. Absolutely fantastic creator, and also just for the grind itself, definitely worth checking him out. Links in the description below once again, but huge kudos to him, and also a huge thank you for the footage to showcase it here up on the channel. But that said, dark matter is that culmination, that final product of all the camo challenges within Black Ops 4. Now, at least that's what we know of right now. We see that the camo challenges have been increasingly more involved as the years go on, if you want to put it that way, where dark matter was first diamond on every single weapon. Infinite Warfare was black sky, which is diamond on every weapon, plus the classic weapons, so a few prestiges into that. Exclusion Zone was then added into Modern Warfare Remastered. Call of Duty World War II had Chrome, and then Chrome Tiger to take it a step further, so maybe there is something after dark matter within Black Ops 4. We don't know just yet, and if that's the case, I don't believe there's any challenges that really point to it, so maybe this is the end game, maybe there is something else, but there is transformations here within this dark matter camo, as with what we saw with gold and diamond already. So we're gonna be going over how to get all of these variations once again with you today, and detailing and showcasing a little bit more of dark matter. So that said, let's just jump right into it. So as mentioned, dark matter is that culmination camo where you have to get gold and diamond on every single weapon. So whether it comes down to one shots or headshots, you're gonna have to knock out all those, then get your technical and then your mastery challenges done, to which once you end up completing all that, that's when it'll have dark matter. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can go about this. I know a lot of people have different methods. Hardcore, I think, is one of the best ways to get headshots, simply because all it takes is one shot to the head, instead of having to fight recoil to stay on a headshot for 2 to 3 shots, depending on their health. But however you end up going about it, it is a grind. It's, if I'm not mistaken off the top of my head, 27 weapons you have to end up getting gold for. So a lot to do, and of course, not many people will do it as fast as Sean, but once you do that, you'll unlock dark matter. You'll, of course, along the way, get a ton of XP in terms of completing challenges for the weapons, and then dark matter itself is, I believe, 7,500 XP or something like that just for unlocking that challenge. Plus you get a Dark Ops challenge along the way, and a few other things just as challenge based as well. But what about the variations? Because that's a big part about what dark matter is, and what all the other camos right now for mastery have proven to be as well. So far there are a handful of different variations within dark matter, all following the same pattern as what we saw with the diamond camo, where every 5 kills you have a different transformation and progression of that camo. So you end up seeing here, starting out with the 5 kill streak of Bloodthirsty, you end up getting spikes or sort of like volcanic glass poking off of the weapon itself, so you kind of gain a little bit of width on your weapon essentially, and it doesn't seem to affect the hitboxes, which is a good thing. But the first time I saw this, it almost looked like clipping errors, where it was something that it wasn't supposed to be like that, but the more and more I look at it, it looks like it is supposed to be that sort of volcanic glass and almost molten spike effect here with it. But you end up getting those at 5 kills. At 10 kills, the Merciless Metal you end up getting, what we end up seeing is the actual camo we saw from pre-release footage. If you guys remember back, a couple of YouTubers showcased some camos, and this was the one that we ended up getting, in which it was a blue and red dark matter. Now this almost reminds me of a Pack-a-Punch variation from, I think it was Revelations, where it's that red and blue same thing, but not necessarily as intense or as normal as Into the Void was in Black Ops 3 multiplayer. But blue and red looks absolutely fantastic here, I think, on this. It actually might be one of my favorite variations here out of what we see in this camo itself. But it's not the final one by any means. We end up moving along into the 15 kill streak, that being the Ruthless Metal, to which we see this then transform into a light pink or a light purple, and it reminds me a little bit more of a solid Into the Void camo. This one is probably the most out there of the bunch of dark matter camos. It doesn't really necessarily fit the same theme as we see progressively, but it's definitely nice no less, and one that is going to be awesome to get. It might not be my personal favorite out of the bunch, but it still looks good no less. Now 20 kills, the Relentless Metal, that's when we start to see a break into the volcanic and molten effect that we see rounding out these variations of dark matter. Now this first variation is a light orange and yellow, and from here on out it's really going to be the same effect, but more so brighter and brighter as we progressively get through. This is nearly the final form, but not really. In terms of design though, pretty much is. As for 25 kills, the brutal metal, again, it just gets brighter, a little bit more saturated, and maybe harder on the eyes the more you look directly at it. But finally, the 30 kill nuclear metal is the final variation. There is nothing higher than that. We saw Rainbow Diamond Camo was 35 kills, but as it stands right now, nuclear is that highest and final variation, which just is that volcanic effect, but super, super bright. Like actually you can't look at your weapon and it's kind of hard to look at even aiming down sight, but it just becomes very bright and very saturated, but it looks awesome if I'm honest with you, just maybe a little over the top. I'm all for these top variation camos being insanely crazy and insanely cool, but it kind of detracts from what you can actually see in game. So we might see these adjusted later on in time, but the one thing that I do want to mention here at this one is that this progression of dark matter seems to be kill streak oriented, or rather gun kill oriented, whereas Rainbow Diamond allowed you to get, say, bloodthirsty after bloodthirsty after bloodthirsty until you eventually got up to Rainbow Diamond. But this seems like it all has to be one solid streak. So from 1 kill up to 30, you'll see those variations happen. But the unfortunate part is that once you end up getting that nuclear, it stays like that for the rest of the game. But I'm pretty sure that up until that point, if you die, so even if you're under 29, it'll actually reset. You'll go back down to the original base formation of dark matter, which is kind of a bummer. And still the biggest thing to me here out of this is that we can't keep them from game to game. That's one thing I am tremendously hoping Treyarch reconsiders and allows for a customization option on camos if you unlock them, but only making them usable if you ended up completing that challenge. So we talked about in the gold and diamond video that you have variations of both of those, but they're actually challenge oriented. So the gold purple lightning variation was one that requires you to get a fury kill, which is actually an in-game challenge. If you complete that, I'd love to see that actually be a stable thing you can end up choosing for, say, like gold A, B, or C. Same thing with dark matter. If you end up getting that 30 kill streak and you have that highest tier unlocked at least once, I think you should be able to choose going into your camo selection how to customize it so you can take that final form if you really want to, or just whatever you've gotten up to at that point. So if you only get up to the pink version, I think it'd be awesome to be able to take that and be able to apply it to your dark matter as that base variant of your camo. Now, as for if that'll happen, who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. I'm just really hopeful that this will be coming because this is the first time we've seen any variations for camos like this, and it's only happening in-game for streaks. That's the only way. You can't really enjoy it outside of that. There's a lot of players that aren't gonna go on a nuclear streak, myself included probably for a while. I play way too aggressive to actually get that. So even if I do get dark matter, it's gonna be some time before I get to enjoy it for a 2-minute time frame or something like that after I get it for the rest of that game. But the final thing that I will say also here regarding this is that it's definitely possible we end up seeing a buff or a nerf or an adjustment of some sort to these variations and this camo. This is something that every single year that we've had a top tier camo, we've had some adjustment to it. You guys might not remember, but the original dark matter in Black Ops 3 was actually pretty ugly. It ended up getting changed by community feedback because everybody saw it and they're like, it could be better. So then we ended up getting the more fluid and liquid style of dark matter, which is what we had for about 9 months out of the year or something like that, maybe even a little bit longer. Black Sky was something that was adjusted in Infinite Warfare after people finally got that. It was a little more fluid, and around DLC 2, it was adjusted. I remember for the first time seeing it and I was like, this is worlds better, because it was actually able to be equipped at the pre-DLC capture event we did at the time. Then I don't recall if Modern Warfare Remastered had any adjustments made to Exclusion Zone, but I also don't know if that was their primary concern, because Modern Warfare Remastered from a business perspective was the backseat to Infinite Warfare, even though the player base may have actually been relatively similar. World War II ended up, if you guys remember this, having a massive Chrome buff, to which Chrome at the very beginning when it was first unlocked was incredibly underwhelming. So the same thing can be said that maybe it happens within Black Ops 4, where if the community is vocal enough about it, it could end up seeing some change made to dark matter as a result. So maybe not initially and right now, but maybe say a month or two down the line when players start to unlock it a little bit more. When more of the player base than just a handful of players, if even that have it at the moment, get their hands on the camo. But that is dark matter, and that is all the variations and how to unlock them. Once again, unfortunately, they're not permanent, but they do look awesome once you obtain them. That said, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think of dark matter? Are you guys a fan of it? Do you guys like this more so than the original dark matter? Or how do you think they stack up compared to the other top tier camos in recent Call of Duty titles? Let me get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. Again, a huge thank you to my buddy Sean. Go check him out. His links will be in the description below. Fantastic creator and also putting so much time into the grind. Definitely go show him some love. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below. If you are also new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Multiplayer, Blackout, Zombies, we got you covered. I have still so much stuff that I am excited to share with you guys, so stick it right here up on the channel if you guys are new and are interested in any of that. So we'll keep you up to date with all things Black Ops 4. But if you guys also want to follow over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected from outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those, so if you guys want to, feel free to check those out. Those links are as well in the description below. But let's get out of the way. Hopefully you guys had a fantastic day. Thank you all so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. I got some headshots to go do, man, because I am like 26 weapons behind on this dark matter grind. So I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.